It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and on another Odyssey visit of some of my favorite and established gardens just to do a check-in. This is another Chula Vista garden. This client has been with Greg and I for almost 15 years, and this was the third iteration of this yard. First two iterations were daylilies and other non-succulents. That was BC, before BS, before succulents. And so we changed the garden out a couple times, just couldn't quite get it dialed in. Then I found succulents, and the rest is history. So this used to all be in lawn grass, and I couldn't convince them to let me do the entire yard in cactus and succulents. They wanted some green, so they went with artificial turf, which, you know, I feel like it was a win-win because I got my way in doing a cutout in the middle. I told them, you know, if I can break it up, it'll look a lot better, and I think it does. So this Dracaena Draco is really starting to grow. This has been in the ground, I don't know, 7 years maybe, this part. We've had to make some changes as things have started to bloom out. Like this Agave Titanota is a new introduction. This has only been here for about a year, and as you know, this is going to get real big. It's going to be fantastic. Perry eyes are looking good. Look at that striata back there. Isn't that stunning? I know, it's so big. Wow. That's what happens when you keep the pups off of your plants. All the energy goes to the mom, and they tend to get a lot bigger. Resinifera, you know, this is going to grow too, and we'll have to make decisions about it at some point. The agave, I did a lot of moonshine in this garden because blue glows were not available at the time. And this is also another pretty agave. It's not as pretty as blue glow, and it does pup quite a bit, but I don't hate that look. This is Kalanchoe Hildebrandii, and it's the blue version of the Orgealis. The leaves are a little smaller, but also they may be a little small because it's just throwing off so many flowers right now. Just beautiful. This Cameronii obviously could use a dead head, as could this, what is this, a speciosa? I'm not sure. It's an aloe hybrid of some kind. Very fantastic. Hesper aloe. I used to use Hesper aloes all the time, and I haven't been able to find them lately. So in time, this will need to be dug up and divided because the stand will get a little too big. Here's another really cool aloe hybrid that is just coming into flower. Looks like it might be a cousin to the Rubra violacea. The blooms are very similar. And then the Sticks on Fire, I just recently cut this all up and reset it, so it looks a little scrubby right now because it's just a cutting. But this tends to get really, really huge in the landscape. This is a Mediopicta alba. And the Mediopicta alba is supposed to be a medium-sized agave. So this has defied my expectations. It's gotten a little bigger than I would like. And really weird things happening inside.
Yeah, it is funky.
Not sure what is happening. Some of the pups are have reverted back to blue. So, oh, this is going to be not fun digging this up. But there's a nice variegated pup right there. So what I'm looking at is I'm trying to establish if there's any decent sized pup that we could replace when it comes time to take out mom. Yeah, I mean, over here it looks like we lost something right here. We'll have to get something going here.
This has opened up a lot.
Yeah, it's opened up a lot, and this is, you know, partial shade, dappled sun from these palms. Look at that lactea. That is so stinking gorgeous. I have a hard time with that plant. But in this garden, it has done so well. It's been in here for years.
Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, and those aeoniums have sunk down into the soil, so we need to pull those, and the Sansevieria is okay, but we need to pull out the aeoniums, add more soil, and reset for sure. This beautiful, it looks like I've kind of bonsai'd this jade, this Crassula ovata, but I haven't. This is just the growth pattern of it more in the shade. So they just naturally are a little more opened up, which I really like. Euphorbia trigona is behaving itself. And remember, this is the garden where we took and hollowed out the palm tree stumps and made planters out of them. So every one of those stumps has got a really fun cactus or succulent growing in it. And that's been really fun. I've enjoyed that. Over here,
Wow.
yeah, the tomentosa looks amazing. There goes a little lizard. The Sansevieria and the Zwartkoff look good.
That aloe.
Here's another aloe vera when just grown as a single specimen as opposed to letting it bush. I think it's just a really stunning plant. Oh my gosh. Oh, God. I almost tripped right over that rock. Wow. This is a speciosa. How cool is that? And this stand of Agave attenuata foxtail is actually has been here through all the iterations and all the times, all the years that I've been coming here. That's something that has always been here. We've got this euphorbia. What is that, Han? It just went right out of my head.
No.
Joseph's coat of many colors.
It's euphorbia.
Oh my God.
No. Euphorbia.
Oh my gosh. It's just been too long.
It's not Petalanthus.
No. Oh well. Let us know in the comments. Winner, chicken dinner. Who gets it first? But it looks a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't quite know how I feel about it. I guess it's kind of okay against the borrowed landscape of the sagos and more of the tropical stuff back there. Another one that we might want to make some decisions about. Look at the size of that blue flame. This agave blue flame has actually been moved around a couple times. This is probably the biggest blue flame I've ever seen. Unbelievable. And she's not showing any signs of blooming out. So woe is me. Oh yes, and the Petalanthus Bractius. This is Petalanthus, and this looks a little unintentional. Like it could use a little something something here. The little millii is pretty. And this Petalanthus Bractius, you can see where we've been cutting it back. You know, kind of like how you work with bamboo to keep it at its upright, keep the upright growth habit. Okay.
Speaking of bamboo.
Yeah, and speaking of bamboo, this black bamboo went in many years ago. This was sold as a clumping bamboo. They lied to me. There's nothing clumping about it. It pops up everywhere. So, you know, this is what I call job security between picking all the leaves up out of the rocks, which that's reiterated too. We used to have burgundy lava in here, and we got rid of it and put down Palm Springs gold because of the leaf drop. It was just always a mess. I also introduced a few rays of light, some variegated attenuatas, to try and bring, you know, a little bit of flavor back here. This area, because it's extremely thatchy. There used to be queen palms and vermilion or bougainvillea all back here, and there's just no digging. There's just no digging. It's just thatch. So it's a little tricky, but it really is starting to get its legs and look very intentional. Ah, look at the Quichou Con. This is one of the very first xeriscapes that I ever installed, and it looks like it needs work. This guy is so crowded. Wouldn't that be beautiful out there in that empty spot in the front? That'd be stunning. And this Pilosoceras, look at all the flowers on it. And this little aloe is so pretty against that Pilo. Then we've got a little Opuntia that looks like it's seen better days.
Look at that bloom.
Yeah, this is the Agave Lofanta, or not quadricolor, but this is the blood spot. And it is pupped so many times and just keeps on, you know, it's bloomed out and repupped and bloomed out and repupped. And it's just really interesting. I don't hate that.
It's not even bloomed out.
No, that was just a flower.
Crazy.
Isn't that interesting? Very fascinating. And then this has been a pot o aloe cameronii for at least a decade. And for whatever reason, it just always stays red. This one never turns green like so many do. This is just phenomenal. I love that. Then we've got a beautiful view of Point Loma, the ocean. You can see the cruise ships out there in the Pacific. I see the naval base. Wow. Downtown. It's right over there.
See it.
Oh, you can't see
No.
it? Oh, so sorry. Okay, so over here, look at this perii. And here's another one of our hollowed out palm stumps that we put a little cactus in. This is a tough area of the garden too. Just is. I don't know why. Look at all the pickleweed over on the other side. It has no problem. But I always had a little bit of difficulty getting things to do well here. And this wall, you know, I think it's partially because the bed is so narrow. Greg has messed with the irrigation over here more times than I can count, and we haven't quite dialed it in yet. The Petalanthus Bractius is usually never really in flower. It really does need additional irrigation. So, no, this is Bractius. It's not the Macrocarpus. And yeah, it's just looking a little sad. This is stunning over here. This Argentea sunset, the quadricolor, this really interesting aeonium, which I don't even know what that is or where I got it, but it's thriving and super happy. And then this spread ives that crested. Look at all the little baby crests all over it. That is so cute. And Aloe brevifolia, one of my favorites. Synandenium grantii.
Yep.
Yuck. Yuck.
That's what was in the front.
Yuck. Yeah, that's what the Joseph's coat of many colors, Synandenium grantii. I don't use the plant anymore because it tends to do this.
It looks great in La Jolla.
Yeah, well, it looks good in La Jolla, but not here.
If you
So
cut it back hard, it bushes out again.
Hannah says if you cut it back hard, it'll bush out again. But the issue with this one is it's been in here for many years and it's never looked good. So I think it's time to make decisions. There's too many wonderful things that would do well there. All right, and then looks like we need to bring in some more little pebbles in here. So they had some runoff, it looks like. Then round yonder here. Haha. This is actually, you know, clearly not a succulent. These are
Snow bushes.
no, they're, oh my gosh, heavenly bamboo. And some of you in the past have said, get those out of there. You know, they don't look good with the succulents, but I don't hate them. And the client just loves the color. And they're very compatible. They're very drought tolerant. So I let them stay. Here's another one of our hollowed out palm planters. And then the star of the show, which is this Aloe hybrid that I got at Waterwise Botanicals that was just a little tiny thing a few years ago and has really turned into a magnificent specimen in this garden. So yeah, you know, this is a garden that we come and do maintenance on fairly frequently, and it looks like it's time to just make a few tweaks. Bring in a little rock, move a couple of plants around, maybe introduce a new specimen or two. But ultimately, very happy with the way this looks. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity in Chula Vista with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.